up guys, welcome back to YouTube's. In today's video, we will learn about automation setting in a Zoho Books. Imagine if Zoho Books would automatically send mails, update fields, create tasks or remind your customer without doing anything manually. For example, you will tell your customer to daily send a sales report to manager in a mail or WhatsApp, but this can be performed by using a automation. Now, I'm in the home page of Zoho Books. I will click on this settings. In this, you can see we have the various tabs. Here we have to go to automation. First, what does automation means? Letting the Zoho Books to perform the repetitive task automatically based on the conditions you define. Okay. For example, you may send the mail, update the field. Now, in this, I'm going to click on workflow rules. In this, you can see workflow means what does it means? When this happens, you will do your things automatically. Every workflow has a three important part. First one is trigger. We have to provide when our automation should start. For example, when your sales order is created, invoice is created. Then condition when this automation or workflow should run. For example, when your invoice amount is greater than 50,000 or when your sales order amount is greater than 1 crore. Action. What Zoho Book should do. For example, you need to send the mail, update the field, or WhatsApp to your customer. Okay, in this, when you can scroll down, you can see there is no workflow. When I click on this blue plus new workflow rule, in this, I'm going to create my workflow rule. I will provide my workflow rule name as voice over 50,000 approval. And in this, you need to provide the description automatically. It trigger an approval process when an invoice is greater than 50,000. In this, you can see we have to select the module. We want quotation, invoice, or sales order. In this, we are using invoice, so I'm going to click on invoice. You can see we have an execute workflow for all invoice type, specific invoice. In this, I'm going to choose the all invoice type and I will click on next. You can see we have an workflow type. It can be like event based. When you are choosing the event based, it will be performed when only when a particular invoice is created or edited. When you choose the date based and we have to provide the date of execution, like it may be a reminder date like that. In this, I'm choosing my option as event based. Then we have to select the action type. Here I'm selecting my action type as create. Then I'm going to click on next. You can see the workflow rule will be executed when an invoice is created. Then I have to click on this plus and add a criteria. In this, you can see you have a tab like you have to add the criteria for this workflow rule. Yes, I want to add. First, I have to select the field. In this, I will take an invoice, and if invoice, I will select an. In this, I will provide an option like invoices greater than 50,000. I'm then going to click on done. When invoice is 50,000, you can see again in this we have to provide one. When I go to save, you can see associate an action for criterion is needed. So I'm going to click on this for associating action. In this action type, I'm going to select, I'm going to choose, we can send email alert, custom function, field update. I'll choose email alert. And in this, we have to select an action what we want. You can say in this there is no defined. For example, in this have high value invoice alert. In this I have already saved. You have to click on add new mail alert. Then here we have to provide the name. First our name will be I invoice alert. Then in this module invoice is automatically saved. Then from we have to choose anything created by whom. And email template, you can choose it as a default. If you have any attachment, you can attach. Then email accept, I will use created. CCBC, we can leave blank if it could be filled by your account manager. When you click on the save, you can see the email alert has been created for the high invoice. Next, now my workflow has been created. When I click on this save, again it is asking to associate action for criteria 1. I will click on this new criteria action. In this I will choose again an email alert. In this I choose the option as high invoice alert. Then I'm going to click on associate. When I associate, then when I click on the save, you can see the workflow has been created successfully. The name of workflow, invoice over 50,000 approval, module is invoice. Description, it is to be provided creatively, automatically trigger approval process when an invoice amount is greater than. In this, no status active. In this, you can see an option to edit, mark as inactive. When I click on clone, the same like that only another invoice will be created. In this you can make a change by choosing when amount will be greater than 2 lakh, like that. In my case, I don't want now to clone it, so I will not choose the option. If you want, you can also delete. In this you can also view the logs, that when it was created, date, range, time, all. But for time I no need anything. So in this video, we clearly understood how we can create the workflow in the Zoho Books. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe our channel. Thank you guys. We'll see you next video.